Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shout Podcast, brought to you by me, Pat Carosa. I am the biggest Buffalo Bills fan ever, and I have season tickets to their game, so I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Buffalo Bills. Actually, I talk about the Buffalo Bills a little bit too much, so I have great knowledge in them. So, before I go any further, please comment, and subscribe. Especially subscribe. That'd be great. I want to grow my following, so it'd be great if you can subscribe so that you can get awesome Bills content this year. So, we've been going over the Bills roster as they get ready for training camp, which, by the way, comes up in a month, July 24th. So, get ready. It's going to be an exciting season. So, we talked about the Bills quarterbacks. That didn't take that long because the Bills have one of the best quarterback rooms in the NFL with Josh Allen. So, now we're going to go into the Bills running backs. And the first person I'm going to talk about is Devin Singletary. And over the last 2 or 3 years that he's been with the Bills, he's had a nice career so far. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been one of the NFL's star running backs, but he's been productive. And that's what the Bills want out of their running backs. They want them to be productive, gain first downs, so that the Bills can let Josh Allen throw bombs to the end zone. So he's been productive. Last year he had 870 yards and 8 touchdowns, which looks like a good season. Not a great season, but a good season. Now, at the same time, he did gain a lot of those yards and a lot of those touchdowns at the end of the season and into the playoffs, which is fine. He had 6 of his 8 touchdowns came at the end of the year. So this year he needs to be more consistent at what he does. He does do a great job at finding the hole. He has great vision when he runs, and at times he can make that explosive play. He just needs to be more consistent at that. He needs to be more consistent and produce a little bit more. There are times when he just totally disappears from the game. And I think to myself, is he really that threatening to the defense? Like, are the defense game planning for Devin Singletary? I wouldn't say so. Except at the end of the season, I wouldn't say a lot of defenses were planning for Devin Singletary, just for Josh Allen, just for them to not let Josh Allen break the game open running or passing. So if the Bills can have more production from their running backs, from Devin Singletary, watch out. This offense will be very explosive. And explosive, I mean the next person I'm going to talk about, James Cook, the Bills' second round running back. He is electric. He could provide some juice, especially in that passing game. In that passing game for the Bills running backs, he did a great job with that at Georgia. And even when he runs, he has great vision. He makes people miss, and he can score the touchdown. And he's also great at route running as well. He does everything well. He didn't have a full-time role at Georgia, but I still think he can still provide an impact on this Bills offense in his rookie year. I think he's going to have a good season, especially with Josh Allen. They're going to use him in a variety of ways, and I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to really see what he can do throughout the year. So that's what I think James Cook will do. Devin Singletary and James Cook, and I think over time that's going to be the combination, especially toward the end of the year. As the Bills get more and more into that playoff contention and hopefully that number 1 seed, Devin Singletary and James Cook will be those feature backs. Now, Zach Moss has kind of tailed off a bit. I thought he was going to have a good season last year, and he didn't. He had only 345 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he really disappeared from the Bills' plans. As the season went on and into the playoffs, he really doesn't have that punishing ability the Bills wanted when they drafted him. And he's really in the fight for his life for a roster spot. I still think he'll make the roster because he could bounce back. You never know. He could bounce back and have a really good season. So, he will. I think he'll make the team, but it's just he needs to improve on his vision, running the ball. He needs to make people miss, and on those third and short downs, he needs to make those. That's what the Bills brought him in for. And every time the Bills asked him to do that last season, he just didn't make it. So, he looks like a really punishing force, like an Earl Campbell type of running back, but he just doesn't have that physicality, and that really hurts him. Also, poor vision, like I said, really just hinders that. So he's in a fight of his life. I still think he'll make the team, but we'll see. And then a couple of other guys. Duke Johnson, they brought in because they obviously lost the JT McKissick sweepstakes. But I don't think he has a shot at making the team. He's kind of in this similar set as James Cook, and they drafted him. So I don't think he'll make the team. And then you have Taiwan Jones, who's a special teamer. I think he'll make the team, but the Bills do have a new special teams coach. And he can decide if he wants better players or if he wants a different player on his special teams unit. So it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't make the team. And then the last person who will make the team, I think, is Reggie Gilliam. He's the do-it-all guy. He can line up at fullback, tight end if the Bills really want to, and also play special teams. So I think he'll make the team. I really do. That's who I have. That's my assessment on the running backs. I think they need to be more consistent, especially in the passing game, and I think James Cook will provide that. So these are the people that I think will be making the team: Devin Singletary, James Cook, Zach Moss, Taiwan Jones, and Reggie Gilliam. We will see on Taiwan Jones. So that is it. If you like my content, if you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Especially subscribe. I'll see you next time when I talk about the Bills receivers, and that will be very interesting. So I hope you guys all have a good weekend. It looks like a nice weekend, a hot weekend. Stay cool, and go Bills.